One of the things that I was reflecting on over the past couple of days, with it just being Thanksgiving, was um, how difficult it is for me as the founder of Come Home to stop working, to cut it off, to step away. It was so easy when I was in schools because we had weekends. I was able to know the times of when I was working and that structure, and breaks, having holiday breaks or summer breaks. Those were natural opportunities to rest, reset, etc. And stepping into building Come Home, that hasn't existed. And I've found myself in this lens of there's always something to do. And even being 4 years in, it's still difficult for me. I really, really appreciate these breaks and holidays and opportunities, because I feel like for me, I'm able to slow myself down when I know our partners or potential partners are taking a break. It's almost like the industry itself and those natural breaks give me the opportunity to rest, reset. But it's something that I've been thinking about is, and I think a lot of founders and a lot of people building their own businesses or organizations can relate. Just knowing that there's always something to be done, and one of the things I try to think about is it's never about getting to burnout. It's about how can I manage and effectively use my time, and how can I pour in and then step away, allow myself to rest, allow myself to reset. So while these couple of days have been a good natural break, it still has reminded me of, one, how hard it is to turn it off, but two, knowing how important it is to step away, to close the laptop, to let the list of all the things be there, and prioritize them, and know that it's just going to get taken care of at some point. And that I'll carve out the time, and that's just the process of all of it. So if you're someone building your own business, if you're a founder, if this is a little bit for you. One of the things that I haven't directly talked about, but has been a theme in a lot of conversations, especially over the past few months, has just been the uncertainty around what public education looks like moving forward. It's very, very interesting. Personally, I never thought being an educator, the work of educating and the work specifically that Come Home is committing to doing would fall in such a polarizing lens. And so there's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of unknown just in terms of what will be allowed, what won't. And honestly, I feel mixed emotions around it. I feel disheartened in some regard, as well as inspired, because I'm having a lot of conversations around, we have to continue to push this forward. We have to continue to progress in a way of supporting all students and understanding and knowledge and education and advocacy around some of this work. It's definitely tough. It's definitely tough knowing that specifically the work that Come Home does and can do right now will only fall in certain parts of our country or certain states, and navigating that has been interesting and challenging and exciting and frustrating, but ultimately, I think at the end of the day, it's reaffirming my personal belief and my mission within education, and that's standing up for equity, standing up for accessibility, opportunity, and skills for all. Doesn't matter who you are. And it's a reminder to join forces with people. It's a reminder that you can't do this alone. And so there is so much uncertainty. And I think too, so much of it is driving my own personal growth and development as an educator, because a lot of this work is pushing me in a direction of continuously noticing gaps. It's as simple as through experiences over the past decade, these gaps just seem to exist. And now I'm starting to ask the questions or try to get the knowledge and information to seek answers of how do we close the gap. And, that's gone from a classroom experience, as a classroom teacher, to now being in my position and being in, the work Come Home wants to do. And the conversations we're a part of is, well, now what does that look at a policy level, a state level, a district level, a federal level? And so it's getting my curiosity sparked too, in terms of what knowledge, what type of background do I have to have in order for Come Home and this sort of work within education to continue to push forward and not lose traction. So it's a lot, honestly. It's a lot of discerning information. It's a lot of navigating emotions on where does it show up, where does it not, where do I put my energy, where do I not. But I will say I continue to be brought back to the idea of we have to do this in groups. We have to do this together. We have to do this with people who are fighting the same fight. And I will continue to do that. Griffin specifically will continue to be a representation of fighting that fight.